Hey there smartphone fans, I am back with yet another new phone to review, and it's one of those that I bought out of curiosity because I really loved the ZUK line but really hated Lenovo phones, so they've spliced them all together and produced the Lenovo Z5. Is it good? Well, watch it and as always you'll find out. The Z5 certainly ticks all the boxes. It's an all glass design. It's really beautiful, it's built really good, it has the USB Type-C, has AI cameras, and it has a 6.2-inch display. All of that is just 160 grams of weight and less than 8 millimeters thick. And it does have a rear fingerprint scanner, but for some reason it still doesn't have Face ID recognition. Probably Lenovo will put that in later, or maybe they won't, but currently, yeah, Face ID recognition is the only way to go here. The Z5 is beautiful. The display is around 85% of the entire phone. This is really massive. The Z5 is priced at around $200 and $250, so this is a massive improvement on what you've been getting around this price point. I got the 6 plus 64GB RAM version of the phone. It's powered by the Snapdragon 636. The display is with the new 19:9 screen to body ratio, or known as simply as a phone with a notch on the display. There's two rear cameras on the back. One is a really small sensor, one is a bigger one. Lenovo says they have AI cameras, but we'll get to that later on. USB Type-C is there, as I said. The power button is textured, which is something I really love here, and it does also have a headphone jack in the body, so pretty much everything you need is in there, and it does come with Android 8.1 Oreo on top of this GUI theme. The phone also comes in the box with a fast charger, USB Type-C cable, and a pretty decent silicone case for it. This is currently a English and Chinese only phone, and I don't think Lenovo will actually introduce a global version of this device, but they probably will later on, perhaps in India only. This doesn't have Google Play installed when you get it. All you have to do is go into the App Store and just write Google and click on this icon that I'm showing here. The phone does have Play services pre-installed, but it doesn't have the Play Store, so you have to install that from the App Store like this. Click on there and basically that's it. There's some lab features in the phone. It has a full HD screen recorder with sound if you wanted to, but the cool thing in there is the gestures navigation. It's one of the better ones I've seen when it comes to Chinese phones, because it makes really a lot of sense. I'm not a fan of like swipe left or right to go back, because that's like doing the same gesture twice. Lenovo actually did really good here. Just swipe from the bottom to go back with the phone, swipe from your left to pull up the notification and toggles panel, and swipe from your right to do the multitasking or pull up your recent tasks. And before you ask, yes, those gestures can actually be reversed in the settings menu, so you can have the recent apps pulled from the left if you're a left-hander, and you can have the toggles notification pulled up from the right again if you're a left-hander. So really cool. The UI is really decent, but I still don't get why Lenovo don't allow just users to replace wallpaper and theme from the desktop themselves, but you have to go into the settings. But besides that, Lenovo actually offer really quality wallpapers, but there's just like 5 or 6 themes for the phone. So as far as customization goes, it's not as good as like Vivo, Oppo, or Xiaomi, or even Meizu in that matter. But it has some really good software, especially the health software. Health app is a speedometer. You can do walking, running, and it also uses, like the ZUK Z2 or the ZUK Edge, the camera flashlight to measure your heart rate. Now, don't think this is like really accurate as it is with most Chinese devices, but it's like a really cool gadget to have. Back on the display, I said really good screen to body ratio. The notch is as big as the iPhone X and is perhaps the smallest one in the budget range. YouTube still haven't fixed that up, so I can't stretch that in the 19:9 display. The panel on this device colors I really love. The blacks are very deep, there's really good contrast, really good saturation, really good color coverage in general. With my only real gripe with the display is that the brightness could be just a tad higher. Still, amazing color reproduction and really good for viewing long hours of media, but you have to live with the black borders until YouTube finally fix their bloody app. This is for me to show you the sunlight visibility. It's still okay, you can still view a lot of the things in just like direct sunlight, but there's a few better phones out there in that price range, probably not, but there's still some. The sound quality from the device, from the speakers, was really good in my opinion. The Snapdragon 636 has become the dominant and most sought after chipset in the new budget flagship range, which is around $200 and $300. It's because it's a slightly cut down Snapdragon 660, and that is a really fast chip. The storage on the Lenovo Z5 was in the below par segment, but still okay. Every other benchmark shows exactly what it is with the Snapdragon 636 phones, like the Redmi Note 5 or the Meizu E3, pretty much the same scores. But there is a little bit of difference between all of those phones, and I'm trying to explain that later. And it's actually in favor of the Lenovo Z5, as this is the best performing Snapdragon 636 phone I have tested so far. One of these positives is because the ZUI skin on top of Android is really well refined. It's a light skin, so it doesn't offer really fancy animations, and that doesn't slow the chip down. So opening, closing apps, multitasking, like really heavy multitasking, especially on that 6 GB of RAM, are really well used with the Lenovo ZUK Z5. It's definitely better than the Redmi Note 5 in terms of general performance and especially multitasking. Is it better than the Meizu E3? Probably not. I would have said it there on par, because this is like the same chip and both UIs are not very heavy. So faster than the Redmi Note 5, perhaps equal to the Meizu E3 and the ASUS Zenfone M1 Max Pro. When it comes to charging though, the ZUK really have Xiaomi beat and ASUS, because their fast charging can do like 50% in 30 minutes, and the phone's 3300 mAh battery is fully charged in just around an hour and 10 minutes, which is really cool. The battery life on this phone, if you think the 3300 mAh battery is small, think again. Even with that 6.2-inch display, the battery life on this was pretty good, especially standby times. I was able to get frequently around 8-10 hours of screen on time if I'm doing really heavy usage on the day, or around 5 to 6 hours of gaming. This is really good because this is a 6.2-inch display with higher than Full HD resolution. Now onto the cameras. As you can see here, one of the sensors is like really tiny and the other is large, and I'm just telling you right off, the second sensor is absolutely not used in this phone, as it's not used with the Redmi Note 5. Lenovo really tried with the camera app. It has a lot of settings, a lot of features, even has a full manual mode. But all that aside, picture quality in really good photo quality conditions, like not really too much sun, not really dark. Photos look actually really good. It's a decent phone for capturing macro shots as well. However, the camera sensor is perhaps an inferior one from a generation or two behind, and overall quality for me was a bit disappointing, considering that we now have Redmi Note 5 and Meizu E3, which are amazing phones in this price range. Even the Oppo Realme 1 did really better photos than this, especially HDR. As you've seen here, HDR is just all over the place with the ZUK Z5, so I really don't suggest you use that in your photos. As light goes down, more noise starts to creep in, and the sharpness just becomes less and less for the photos. The 2x zoom is kind of okay, but it's definitely not lossless on this device. The portraits were actually pretty decent, but when taking portraits, I realized that, well, the photos were actually very, very dark and very, very brownish, so the color correction is not really good. And as I said, you can just forget about good low light shots with the Lenovo Z5, which is really not meant for that. As video quality goes, the phone can shoot 4K video. It's pretty decent, but it's a bit too shaky. I did like the slow motion, however, but again, it suffered from a bit of focus hunting, as you can see here. So video quality, I would have to say it's sufficeable, but again, as you can see here, it's just a bit too dark and too murky, and this is generally what's matter with the rear camera, and it's actually the better one of the two. The front camera is only usable in like really good lighting conditions and if subjects are not moving. If you have a subpar lighting condition scenario or movable objects, you can just forget about getting a decent photo. Movable objects will be blurred, and if you have a low light shot, it will have very few, like the photos will be smudged, the details are all over the place, and there will be plenty of noise. So the front camera is not good at all, even in this low price point with the Lenovo Z5. Where does the phone actually really excel? Gaming. I don't know if it's because of the game mode Lenovo has introduced with the Z5, but this is the best gaming Snapdragon 636 phone I've ever used, and I've used all of them. The Redmi Note 5, the Meizu E3, the ASUS Max Pro. This Snapdragon 636 performs perhaps just 10% or maybe just not difference at all with the Snapdragon 660. Games even on higher settings like first-person shooters like the World War Heroes here play with playable frame rates, and I have not seen this in any $200 phone on the market. So if you're out there and you're looking for the best value gaming phone on the market today, the huge display, the great performance, and the really good cameras on the Lenovo Z5 make it an absolutely killing gaming phone in this budget price range. You can even play PUBG Online, PUBG Mobile with HD graphics and high settings without anti-aliasing, of course, and the frame rates are really playable and the graphics look amazing. So this is a main reason for you to import the Lenovo Z5 if you're not like really keen on having your native language in there. The best gaming phone for $200, the best performing Snapdragon 636 phone, and that huge display, really good battery life, even on the low 3300 mAh battery is still a really amazing feat that Lenovo have pulled. Just look at the high quality graphic settings in PUBG Mobile and look how good the frame rates are. And with this, I conclude my Lenovo Z5 review. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Please share it on your social media so that your friends can watch it as well, especially if they want to buy the best gaming phone at the lowest price available. The Lenovo Z5 is certainly good, and I want to see him do more of that as well. Check out my other videos, subscribe to my channel for more content like this. I love you all. Peace out.